Hi, this is Chris Mashad with HBE Experts, and I'm here to walk through our new market access module. Market access, of course, is a way to take a look at the decision makers and influencers that are influential in a particular therapeutic area or in a particular region. In this case, we're going to be taking a look at rheumatology in France and Spain. Along the left-hand side of the module, you can see sections for decision makers, influencers, and our interactive map that we'll get to in just a second. If you click on decision makers, this gives a brief overview of the actual decision-making organizations and experts that make their decisions in this particular therapeutic area. You can take a look at them by decision-making organizations, and down below, the experts. You can do the same thing with influencers. You can see the organizations and experts that are influential in these particular areas and will help those decision makers make the decisions that are important. If we want to take a look at one of these in a little bit more detail, let's take a look at the pricing committee for the health authority in France. You can see that there's a summary here with the nominations, groups, key members, and reports that are important for this particular organization. In this case, the key members include the president and several of the key members of this particular pricing committee. You can take a look at the organizations that influence the decision maker. This includes subcommittees within the health authority, as well as other organizations that are outside of it that also contribute to it. Influential experts, these might be other people who work for any of the influencers or other KOLs or other important experts that are important in the field. You can also take a look at the relevant reports that this particular decision maker is involved in. So these reports are part of why this decision maker is important. Nominations, we can see that this particular group has also gotten several folks in surveys that indicate national influence, so nomination data will be shown here as well. All of the decision maker and influencer pages follow the same structure. So if you're looking for information on key members, the influential groups and experts, reports and nominations, this detail page is where to find it. Now, if we want to have a little bit more fun with the data, we can take a look at the map. When you click on the map, all of that information that we were just looking at tables is automatically turned into this colorful set of dots. So let me explain a little bit about what these are. First, I'll go full screen so that we can look at this in a little more detail. What you see here are red dots representing the decision makers that we were just looking at. The green dots are advisors and the blue dots are influencers. So this is all of the same information that we were just looking at in tables, but in a little bit easier to understand format. Some of them are larger, which means that they have more connections than some of the other ones. You can also take a look at which organizations are bridges between the two. So in this case, this organization in Madrid and this one in Andalusia, they're both influenced by this particular society in Spain. So you can find some pretty interesting connections just because you're looking at it as a picture as opposed to just in plain text. Now, of course, we want to be able to filter through this information to find what we want and make sure that we're digging into the particularly important data that we're looking for. So we have a few ways to do that. One, you can take a look at all of these decision makers. Over here, you can open this up, and it lists out exactly which influencers are influencing each of these decision makers. And you can also take a look at particular filters. So if we know that we want to focus on an area of influence, let's say reimbursement, we check that and all of the reimbursement people stay. Or let's say pricing. You can take a look at the pricing groups. You can do the same thing to focus on by Spain or by France or any other region that you happen to have in your project. So in this case, let's take a look at this group down here. You can zoom in to get more detail. And you can see that this particular organization is influenced by several advisors. These are the subcommittees within that organization, as well as external groups, which run around the outside. If I want to be more specific, you can also start filtering why these groups are connected. Influencers are influential because they have contributed to reports or they've received nominations. So if we want to see exactly what those are, you can look at it by topic. You can look at report journals. In this case, we can look at report titles. If we want to, for example, just see who's connected because they contributed to this report, you can check that. And you get a small subset of the advisors and influencers that are influential for this decision maker. You can turn on the labels using the settings menu up at the top. And you can see exactly who all of these groups are. All of these move around, so it makes it easy to navigate and easy to place things exactly where it's most useful for you. The Health Economics College over here, you can see, is connected to the Health Authority for a couple of reasons. One is because of that report that we set as a filter, and two, because it's also received votes for national and regional influence. If we want to get more information about this group, say we've decided that based on this information, this is one that we're a little bit more interested in, you can take a look at the profile for this college. It takes us back to that view that we were looking at a second ago, and you can see there's that same set of information with team members. The Health Authority is the influenced organization in this case. And here we see that the president of this particular college, Sophie Bejean, you can click on her, take a look at her specific profile, and even take a look at contact information. So this has been a quick overview of our market access data. There are a lot of options that you can take for filtering out your information, for finding what's most important, and we hope that you find it very useful.